All right, so we will see these two provisions. And so we have discussed the primary rules of interpretation. Right now, when we talk about interpretation as such, it's important to understand meaning of a certain given provision. Interpretation is very much needed, and for that we have different types of rules that apply. Okay, when we talk about primary rules of interpretation, these are some rules which tells us the way how we would interpret. Is it that we are going to go with the ordinary meaning of a certain word? Is it that we would try to understand some meaning out of the entire legislation? What is the provision, like how we would do it? So we discussed about literal, golden, mischief, and harmonious construction rule in primary rules of interpretation. Same ways, there are certain secondary rules, or rather some maxims that are being followed. Some how we can derive a meaning out of a certain legislation, and even these secondary rules are also used in deriving meaning from a certain given provision, given concept, or any section, or any other thing. Okay, so there are these three secondary rules of interpretation. So apart from the primary rules, these are also important in understanding meaning from a certain given word. Okay, now what are these three different rules of interpretation and what does they mean? Okay, so first of all, we have nocitur associs, which means meaning of unclear words or phrases are determined on the basis of its context and the words and phrases surrounding it. Now, another one we have is Ejusdem generis. Now, what does this mean? It means the word should be given their natural meaning unless it requires special meaning based on the context. Again, we are talking about context here. Now, what is it? Ejusdem generis means of the same kind. Okay, I think I have told you about one case, I guess we discussed, or I don't remember. One thing we would say, okay, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14. Okay, so this is a blank space over here. What number would you put here? 10. 10. Why 10?
Ma'am, because it is the trend we are following, so it's of the same kind.
Yes, it is. We are seeing that, okay, there is a difference of 2 in all these numbers also, all these numbers also. So this should technically be 10 only. That means we are trying to identify what is common in these numbers and what is common in these numbers. Like you said, trend, right? What is the trend? How are we getting these numbers? We are trying to see that. That means of the same kind, we are seeing that, okay, there is a difference of 2, 2, 2, 2. So this also has to be 10 only. That is nothing but Ejusdem generis. Okay, that means of the same kind. So generally, the words used, the words should be given their natural meaning. That means usually when I told you like what would you feel in this gap, you said 10. Because I have not as such given you any special point or anything, right? It's a simple question, what would you feel? So if there is no special thing applicable, you would say 10 only. That is what it is, that words should be given its natural meaning unless it requires special meaning based on the context. I have not said that, okay, here you need to multiply it with 4 minus 2 something. I have not told anything. So in that case, you would go with the trend only. What is the trend? Difference of 2. Same ways, when you get some words, you try to get the natural meaning out of it. Okay, in that same context, you try to use it. When general words follow specific words that are distinct in nature, the general word should also be given specific meaning to it. Now, this provision or this rule is applied in many cases. Okay, one case is, it's a very famous case. Okay, this one is relating to Article 12 of Constitution. So what is Article 12 of Constitution?
Ma'am, is it related to the formation of the state?
It is relating to state, but it is providing a definition of state. Okay. Let me open it. Constitution. of India. Now, what happens is mostly in case of constitution, right? A lot of things have been interpreted multiple times by courts just to make it very clear that, okay, this is only what a certain provision means. Okay, same ways, there is one provision which is Article 12 of the Constitution. That provision has also been interpreted multiple times. Now, what was the need for interpreting? Article 12 basically provides for definition of state, and why it is needed? Because it's relating to fundamental rights. Okay, we are given fundamental rights, and in Constitution multiple times it says the state should do this, the state should not do this. But what is the state? Who should not do? We are saying the state shall not deny, the state shall not discriminate. But what is state? Is it state of Karnataka and Maharashtra? Or is it something else that we are meaning? That has to be clear. Okay, so that is why this word is first of all defined in Article 12. Okay, so this definition, when you look at it, it clearly says that state includes, what it includes? Government, as in the central government, plus Parliament of India, plus it includes the state government and legislature of each state. Fine, until here it's very much clear. But after that it says all local and other authorities within the territory of India. But now what kind of local and other authorities? That's not very clear. Okay, so that is why a lot of cases were filed in the court saying, is this falling under local and other authority or not? Okay, same ways. There was one question that went before Supreme Court, which is University of Madras versus Shantabai, and Madras High Court. Madras High Court had to decide whether University of Madras is a state or not as per this provision. All local and other authorities within the territory of India. Other authorities mean it can be any authority. So does it mean that university is also a state or not? That was the question which court had to decide. Okay, is it clear until here?
Yes, ma'am.
So in this case, Supreme Court applied the principle of Ejusdem generis, and what they said is we need to consider something of like nature. As in, first of all, we are saying central government, parliament, state governments, state legislature. So what are we talking about? We are talking about some bodies or some like some bodies who are performing governmental or sovereign functions, right? Parliament, central government, state legislature, they are at a different level, and university is at a different level, right? University is not performing any governmental or sovereign function. It's just providing education to people. So in such a case, we need to see that in what context this first few words are being used. First of all, we are talking about central government, state government, parliament, legislature. So when we are talking about local and other authorities, it also has to have some connection with this. Maybe you can consider municipalities, gram panchayats, etc., who are performing some government functions, but university is like a completely different matter altogether. Okay, so in this particular case, court applied Ejusdem generis principle, and court said that university is not falling under this definition of Article 12. Okay, it cannot include persons, natural or juristic, for example, unaided universities, etc. These are not performing any sovereign function. These would not fall under definition of Article 12. Okay, so like that, this particular case was the case decided the matter, but yes, later on it was said that no, it's not correct. Ejusdem generis does not apply. Even universities can be considered as a state. Like that, it was changed. But this is a very important case where this principle was applied to see like nature. What are the common things in the previous, like the bodies? It's that they are performing some governmental and sovereign functions. So third one also has to do something similar. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, before we continue, I wanted to inform you about my live mentorship program for LL.B students or law aspirants. Law subjects and law topics need detailed clarity. We get that with the help of cases, examples, and detailed explanation. It's definitely not possible to include everything in these short videos. If you find my videos easy to understand and you are looking for some professional help in preparing for your examination, you can join my live mentorship program. Here you will be getting exam tips, answer writing skills, detailed notes that you can refer for your examination, cases, examples, and in a very easy way topics will be explained. I have live classes going on for a lot of subjects as of now. To know more about it, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. I'm also helping a lot of students in writing their assignments. If you need any such help or for any queries, any suggestions, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. And now let's continue with our video.